Faith Fraser alive. The mere thought is enough to shake the very foundations of everything we know about Outlander. How could it be? The child that Claire and Jamie mourned, the daughter they never had the chance to raise, could she really have survived? In the very first episode of Season 8, this shocking possibility is unveiled, leaving us questioning everything we thought we knew. But how is this even possible? And if Faith is truly alive, where has she been all these years? The answers are tangled in a web of deception, danger, and a deadly mission that could change everything for Jamie and Claire. Outlander Season 8 begins not with joy, but with haunting whispers that echo through time itself. Claire is plagued by visions of a child, a little girl with eyes just like Jamie's. These visions are more vivid than dreams, almost like memories. But how could they be? Determined to understand the truth behind these haunting images, Claire embarks on a quest that will take her down a path more dangerous than she ever imagined. It's not just her sanity at stake, but her very life. Because the truth about Faith's return is guarded by forces that will stop at nothing to keep it hidden. Meanwhile, Jamie is torn between disbelief and hope. The idea that Faith could be alive shatters him to his core. How could he have grieved for his daughter all these years, only to find out she might be out there somewhere? But as Jamie and Claire dig deeper, they realize they're not just searching for their child, they're uncovering a conspiracy that runs deeper than they could have ever imagined. Enemies from their past resurface, shadows lurking in every corner, determined to bury the truth forever. But why would someone keep Faith's existence a secret? And who would be cruel enough to take her away from her parents? As Claire uncovers clues that lead her to a dangerous revelation, she realizes that Faith's return is not a miracle. It's a curse. It's a trap set by an old enemy seeking revenge, using Faith as a pawn in a deadly game. And Claire is the only one who can save her, if she survives the journey. Faith's return changes everything for Jamie and Claire. It forces them to question their past decisions, their faith in each other, and even the love they fought so hard to protect. But with enemies closing in and secrets threatening to tear them apart, they must find the strength to face the darkest truth of all. Because Faith's return is only the beginning, and the end could be far more tragic than they ever imagined. This is just the beginning of a story that will unravel everything we thought we knew about Outlander. Faith's return is a revelation that will change the Fraser family forever. But at what cost? The answers lie ahead, tangled in love, loss, and a deadly mission that could be Claire's last. The truth is coming, and no one is ready for it. As Claire delves deeper into the mystery of Faith's return, she encounters a figure from her past, someone she never expected to see again. Master Raymond, the enigmatic healer who once saved her life, holds secrets that defy time itself. But his knowledge comes at a price. When Claire confronts him, he speaks in riddles, warning her that some truths are better left buried. He tells her that Faith's existence was never meant to be known and that pursuing this path will lead to unspeakable danger. But Claire is relentless. She refuses to let fear stop her from finding her daughter, no matter the cost. Master Raymond reveals that Faith was taken at birth by an ancient order known as the Shadows of Fate, a secretive group that manipulates time for their own dark purposes. They saw Faith's birth as a threat, a child born out of time who could change the course of history itself. To protect their power, they hid her away, erasing all traces of her existence. But something went wrong. The timeline began to unravel, and Faith's presence started to echo through time, calling out to her parents. That's why Claire has been seeing those haunting visions. They're not dreams. They're echoes of Faith's life, reaching across time, desperately seeking her parents. Horrified by this revelation, Claire realizes that Faith has been alive all along, growing up in a world where she never knew her real parents. But why now? Why are the echoes only appearing now? Master Raymond reveals the chilling truth. Faith is in grave danger. The Shadows of Fate are preparing to eliminate her once and for all, to restore the timeline and protect their power. If Claire doesn't find her in time, Faith will be lost forever. Driven by love and fear, Claire races back to Jamie with the truth. But Jamie's reaction is not what she expects. He's furious. Furious that she kept this from him. Furious that she risked her life for answers. But underneath the anger is pain. The heart-wrenching agony of a father who dared to hope, only to have that hope shattered. Jamie can't bear the thought of losing Faith again, not after all these years. But Claire refuses to give up. She convinces Jamie that they have to fight no matter the cost because Faith is their daughter and she needs them. Together, they set out on a deadly mission to find Faith before it's too late. But they're not the only ones searching. The shadows of fate are already hunting her, determined to erase her from history forever. As Jamie and Claire follow the echoes through time, they realize they're walking into a trap. Their enemies are waiting, ready to destroy anyone who stands in their way. And the closer they get to Faith, the more dangerous the journey becomes. The stakes are higher than ever before. One wrong move could change the course of history, or end their lives. But Jamie and Claire won't back down. Not now. Not when they're so close to finding their daughter. They're willing to risk everything, even their own lives, to save Faith. But with shadows lurking in every corner and danger closing in, the question remains, will they reach her in time, or will the truth about Faith's return be the end of everything they love? As Jamie and Claire follow the echoes through time, they find themselves facing enemies they never knew existed. The shadows of fate are cunning, ruthless, and determined to protect their secrets at any cost. Every step Jamie and Claire take brings them closer to Faith, but it also brings them closer to danger. They're hunted, pursued by shadowy figures who move through time as easily as others move through space. Nowhere is safe, no one can be trusted, and the closer they get to the truth, the more deadly their enemies become. In their quest to find Faith, Jamie and Claire discover an ancient artifact known as the Mirror of Echoes. This powerful relic allows them to glimpse moments from Faith's life, brief, heartbreaking flashes of a little girl growing up alone, wondering who she is and where she came from. Claire watches in agony as she sees Faith's face for the first time, her daughter's eyes filled with longing and sadness. Jamie's heart breaks as he sees Faith's fiery spirit, so much like her mother's, defying the cruel world that imprisoned her. These visions give them hope, but they also fill them with fear. Faith is out there, but she's alone, and she's running out of time. But using the Mirror of Echoes comes at a cost. Every glimpse into Faith's life disrupts the timeline. The more they use it, the more dangerous it becomes. Time itself begins to fracture, and reality starts to shift. Events from their past are altered. Memories are rewritten. The world around them becomes unstable. Jamie and Claire realize that they're not just fighting to save Faith, they're fighting to save time itself. The shadows of fate are furious that Jamie and Claire have found the Mirror of Echoes. They will do anything to stop them from using it, even if it means killing them both. The Ancient Order sends their most deadly assassin, a man known only as the Whisperer, a shadowy figure who can move through time without leaving a trace. He hunts them relentlessly, always one step ahead, always just out of sight. Jamie and Claire are running out of time, and the walls are closing in. Desperate for answers, Claire turns to Master Raymond once more. But when she arrives at his hidden sanctuary, she finds it in ruins. Master Raymond is gone, his home destroyed by the shadows of fate. But he left behind a final clue, a map leading to the Temple of Time, the place where Faith was hidden all those years ago. It's their only hope. But the journey is perilous, leading them across treacherous landscapes and through ancient ruins filled with deadly traps. With danger lurking at every turn, Jamie and Claire must rely on each other like never before. Their love is their greatest strength, but it's also their greatest weakness. The shadows of fate know this, and they use it against them, creating illusions to manipulate their emotions, to break their spirits. Jamie is haunted by visions of losing Claire, while Claire is tormented by memories of Faith slipping through her fingers. They're fighting not just for their daughter, but for each other, and for their very souls. As they near the Temple of Time, Jamie and Claire realize they're not just facing an ancient order, they're facing destiny itself. The shadows of fate are the guardians of time, protectors of the timeline. To save Faith, Jamie and Claire must defy fate itself, rewriting history and challenging the very fabric of time. But altering destiny comes at a cost, and the consequences could be catastrophic. The tension is unbearable. The stakes are higher than ever before. Every decision Jamie and Claire make could change the world as they know it. As they prepare to enter the Temple of Time, one question haunts them. Can they truly defy fate? Or will their quest to save Faith be the end of everything? Faith may be the end of them all, but the battle is far from over. The shadows of fate are closing in, the timeline is unraveling, and the journey to save Faith is about to reach its most dangerous turning point. Inside the Temple of Time, the air is heavy with ancient magic, and the walls whisper with the voices of those who came before. Jim and Claire step cautiously, their hearts pounding as they realize they are standing at the center of a powerful nexus where past, present, and future converge. The temple is a labyrinth of shifting corridors and hidden passages designed to protect the greatest secret of all, the truth about Faith's existence. But they are not alone. The Whisperer is here, lurking in the shadows, watching their every move. He is the shadows of fate's most dangerous weapon, a man who can manipulate time itself, bending reality to his will. He taunts them, his voice echoing through the temple, reminding them they are trespassing on sacred ground. He knows their weaknesses, their fears, and he uses them mercilessly, creating illusions that blur the line between what is real and what is not. Jaime sees his father's face, accusing him of failing his family, while Claire is haunted by visions of Faith calling out for her, just out of reach. The illusions are designed to break them, to drive them apart. But Jaime and Claire are stronger together. They cling to each other, refusing to let the darkness consume them. They fight through the illusions, grounding themselves in their love and trust. Their bond guides them through the labyrinth, leading them to the heart of the temple, the Chamber of Echoes. Inside, they find an ancient altar covered in mystical symbols, glowing with an otherworldly light. This is where Faith was hidden, where she was taken from them all those years ago. The truth is right in front of them, but unlocking it requires a sacrifice. The Chamber of Echoes demands a price for its knowledge, one that could change everything. Claire steps forward, her heart aching as she places her hands on the altar. A blinding light engulfs her, and suddenly she is standing in the past, witnessing the moment Faith was taken. She sees the shadows of fate performing an ancient ritual, sealing Faith's existence to protect the timeline. They believed Faith was too powerful, that her very life would disrupt the balance of time. They hid her away, erasing her from history, erasing her from Claire's arms. But Claire also sees something else. Faith's face, her daughter's eyes, wide with fear and hope. Faith is alive. She has been hidden in a place outside of time, a world between worlds, but she is trapped, unable to escape without Claire's help. Claire's heart breaks as she watches Faith reach out, her voice echoing through the chamber, "Mama, help me!" Before Claire can react, the Whisperer strikes, his blade aimed at her heart. But Jaime is faster. He throws himself between them, fighting with all his strength to protect Claire and the truth they've uncovered. The battle is fierce, brutal, as time itself bends around them. The Whisperer moves like a shadow, his strikes swift and deadly. But Jaime's love for Claire gives him strength. He refuses to back down. As the fight rages on, Claire realizes that the only way to save Faith is to break the seal that binds her. But breaking the seal will unleash the full power of the Chamber of Echoes, tearing a hole in the timeline. It is a risk she is willing to take. With tears streaming down her face, Claire recites the incantation she learned from Master Raymond. Her voice is steady and determined. The chamber trembles. The symbols on the altar glow brighter and brighter until they explode in a burst of light. Time shatters around them. The past collides with the present. Claire sees flashes of Faith's life, moments of joy and sorrow, laughter and tears. She sees Faith growing up, strong and brave, surviving despite the shadows of fate's cruelty. And then she sees the future, Faith standing beside her and Jaime, a family reunited at last. But just as quickly as the vision comes, it is ripped away. The Whisperer screams in fury, his power shattered by Claire's defiance. He lunges at her, but Jaime is ready. With one final strike, he defeats the Whisperer, sending him tumbling into the depths of the temple, lost in time forever. The battle is won, but the cost is high. The Temple of Time begins to collapse, its magic unraveling as the timeline resets. Jaime and Claire barely escape, fleeing as the walls crumble around them. Outside they watch as the temple vanishes, leaving only ruins behind. The Mirror of Echoes shatters, its power gone forever. But Claire isn't defeated.